Does it bother you that you have dust all over everything inside your house? Your TV, your furniture, your ceiling fans, everywhere? And what's even worse, what about all of the particles that are inside of the air, the dust, the pollen, all of the pollutants and everything inside the air? Have you really thought about breathing that stuff in? I don't know about you, but it's something that I've kind of become obsessed over, is all this stuff in the air, years and years and years of breathing this stuff in. That's something that I really wanted to take a look at. So Clarifion sent these air ionizers to me to be able to test out, and that's exactly what I did. I put these in several rooms of my house, and I wanted to test out to see what these things can do, because let's face it, it's one thing to have dust all over stuff in your house, but it's an entirely different thing to be able to have it in the air and you're actually breathing it in. That to me is what's concerning. I mean, take this room for instance. I mean, what if there were dust particles all over the place? I wouldn't even be able to focus right now. What the... Seriously? So inside of this 3-pack are these air ionizers. And essentially what this does is it sends out negative ions into the air, and then it grabs onto pollen and to dust and debris and all of those things in the air, and it creates these positively charged ions. And what it does is it causes them to all fall to the ground. And instead of them being in the air and you're breathing them in, what this does is it causes everything to just fall to the ground. And essentially what you have is you just have clean air. And this is the reason that I wanted to check this out. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to take you to a couple of places. I'm going to show you some of the dust and things. I'm going to show you how to install this, kind of how it works, and then we're going to kind of look at my opinion and what we think about the after effects and see if this thing actually works. All right, so I'm going to give you an idea of what things look like before we put the air ionizer in our house. Now over here, I want you to look at our entertainment center, kind of over here in this area. I've got a little flashlight, and what I want you to do is I want you to look right here. Now, this is before everything that we did. Before we did air ionizers, this is just regular dust that just kind of accumulates over time. I want you to look at this right here. Now, this for me is a problem because not only is it accumulating all over our entertainment center and everything, this is kind of everything is in the air and we're breathing it in. It's one of the reasons I really wanted to get these ionizers. So what I did was before I installed the air ionizers, I wanted to do a test. What I did was I left this area alone with all the dust. I just left it just like that. I went over here to the right area and I cleaned it. And what I did was I waited about a week and a half, and I wanted to see how things would look comparison between these two areas. And I want you to take a look at this. Now, it usually takes about a week or two for this amount of dust right here to accumulate. And I want you to come take a look at this. Now, you see just a little bit of dust, but I want you to take a look at the difference here. I want you to take a look at this. So this is about a week and a half. All of this continued to accumulate. And what I did was I cleaned this side, and then there's barely nothing. So this tells me that over here in the area, instead of all of the dust just continuously being in the air and accumulating, the air ionizer just started to attack that dust, and it didn't even really make it to this area. And so that's kind of what it told me, is that there's barely any at all. So that's definitely an indication to me that the dust is not really reaching over here as much as it used to right here, which this right here is just alarming. Imagine breathing this in. So we're right here in my game room and also this kind of a workout room that we have. And to get the air quality better in here, what we did was we used this Clarifion ionizer right over here into this outlet. And let me show you how it works. So you find the right outlet and then you simply just plug it in just like this. And then as you can see, it's going to turn on. And you can see the blue light, which is an indicator that it's working and that it's turned on. Right here is where the negative ions are going to be popping out. It's going to be going out into the room. And what it's doing is that it's negatively charged ions that are going to grab onto just all the debris in the air, the kind of the dust and debris, dander, if you have pets, the pet dander and all of that. And it's going to just grab onto it. It's going to create these positively charged ions that is going to make it too heavy to float in the air and just fall to the ground. Now, the whole point of this is so that you're not breathing it in. So this is what we did in this room, and I've definitely noticed some really great results in here. But this is one of the rooms that we did. Let's go take a look at another room. So of course, in the living room, what I did was I installed the Clarifion air ionizer right over here. And I wanted to put it up here kind of on top of the fireplace mantle so that it would send these negative ions out into the air. So this is where I put the second one.
So the first one was in the game room, and then the second one was right here. Now let me take you to the third one that I did. All right, so the third air ionizer we put right over here in the kitchen. Now the kitchen is a really great place to put one of these because of all the things in the air when we're cooking and everything that's going on. I wanted to put one right over here whenever we're in here in the kitchen. And that way we're not breathing it in, it's just falling to the ground. So as you can see, this is the third one that we did. We put it right here in the kitchen. So all in all, after having these, I could definitely say that I've noticed a pretty dramatic difference as far as in the air quality. For me personally, I think that these work really amazing. Now, what I would highly suggest you do is try to put one in every room in the house. We have one here in the game room, and then I would definitely put one, kind of in the living room over here. Have one in the kitchen, definitely the bedrooms. Very important that you do that. But I could definitely say I love these things. I highly recommend that you get one for every room in your house. These things are really, really amazing. I'm so thankful that that I have these because I just have a lot more confidence as far as not breathing in all of this stuff in the air. So I definitely recommend that you pick as many of these as you possibly can.